The wife of the Prime Minister visiting schools on the island of Abaco. It's all systems go for the second Grand Bahama Tech Summit. And today is recognized as World Mental Health Day.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the wife of the Prime Minister launching a nationwide initiative today as she focuses on young girls and education. She made her first stop on the island of Abaco as students there celebrated International Day of the Girl Child. Our Italia Hall was there.
The wife of the Prime Minister, Mrs. Patricia Minnis, making her first stop at the Sherlin Boodle High School in Cooperstown, Abaco, reminding the young girls about the importance of focusing on school, telling them that education is the key to success.
We will mark a year-long effort to bring together partners and stakeholders to advocate and draw attention and invest in this most pressing needs and opportunity for girls to attain skills and employability. Thank you.
The message was well received by the students.
It's very empowering to have somebody come and address the things that girls need and girls usually want to talk about. It was very mind-blowing because it's like we never really expected it.
I really didn't believe it because it's my first time seeing the Prime Minister's wife. Also, it really gave me an opportunity to speak to her on the importance of the word of girls.
The visit from Miss Minnis, it was extremely empowering, and I love how she spoke to us girls, and it felt as though even though she was on camera, she actually felt that you could actually felt the connection she had.
We didn't know she was coming, you know, like it's just a family island and she came to visit, and I feel like every one of us can relate to her because she didn't grow up from like a rich family, was not, and though she lived in Nassau, not like in a family island, she's still connected to us. Each of us can take from what she said.
Mrs. Minnis then visited Forest Heights Academy here in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. She says the International Day of the Girl Child is just the beginning of a year-long effort.
Generation of girls are preparing to enter the world of work that is being transformed by innovation and automation. Educated and skilled workers are in great demand. But roughly a quarter of young people, most of them female, are currently neither employed or in education or training centers.
Mrs. Minnis is also calling on the various communities for their support. Tomorrow, she will take the campaign to Long Island. Reporting in Abaco for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Efforts to make Grand Bahama the tech hub of the Bahamas and the region continues as the Office of the Prime Minister prepares to host the second annual Grand Bahama Technology Summit this November. A press conference held this afternoon to announce what residents can expect.
On behalf
Title sponsors announcing to Grand Bahama and the international market the upcoming second annual Grand Bahama Tech Summit under the theme, The Future is Now. Minister of State for Grand Bahama, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, says that the summit is essential in making Grand Bahama the Silicon Island of the region. This year, key persons in the technology field are expected to present for 3 days, November 14th through November 16th.
We have already had a list of tech Bahamians who are in Atlanta, who are in Washington, who are in New York, who are in Silicon Valley. And you will be hearing from some of these Bahamians. You have Bahamians who are doing some wonderful things all over the world. And this will provide them with an opportunity to showcase who they are and what they do. With a changing economy, I encourage Bahamians to remain keen on global advancements and to venture into the technology industry with the intent on establishing themselves and your businesses here in Grand Bahama. The second Grand Bahama Technology Summit will be a dynamic 3-day experience where we will hear from cutting-edge speakers, we will hear about cutting-edge technology, and hopefully we will be able to bring in some additional investors and additional investments into Grand Bahama.
Richard Stanton of Alive says that last year's summit was a tremendous success as it brought new business and helped existing businesses to expand. He adds that this year, organizers are also expecting great results.
In a nutshell, since last year, we have new business in Grand Bahama, we have new sponsors in Grand Bahama, we have new jobs in Grand Bahama, and we have new partners in Grand Bahama. And we shouldn't be ashamed of saying we are doing this for one reason, and that is for Grand Bahama. It's not for anything else. It's not for, we talk about the Bahamas, Alive and GBIC have presence in both. No, but really this is about driving Grand Bahama, and that is the minister's only driving force, I am sure.
GIBC has been branded the poster child for the Tech Summit as the business opens on Grand Bahama following the 2017 summit. Dominique Roach says they are pleased to partner with the government to make Grand Bahama a tech hub.
The evolution of Grand Bahama is underway. As a title sponsor of this year's summit, we are especially excited because as it presents an opportunity to showcase Grand Bahama to potential investors, to bring thought leadership and technology together, to discuss innovation and opportunities to collaborate. This is an exciting time to be an investor in Grand Bahama, as we want to encourage other technology companies to consider Grand Bahama as a potential home.
Registration is officially opened and free. For more information, visit www.grandbahamatechsummit.com. Meantime, employees of the Registrar General's office in Grand Bahama continuing to take a stand as they believe there is mold in the building where that office is located. The president of the Bahamas Public Services Union traveling to Grand Bahama to assess the situation. Jay Philippe has the details.
Union President Kimsey Ferguson flew in from the nation's capital just to address the matter. The union is attempting to seek permanent solution for the employees.
We have since also learned that there are conflicting reports, as there was a private inspector that came and gave a different report. Since my arrival here at the building, I would have went into the building. Immediately after I was in the building for about 5 or 10 minutes or so, my eyes started to feel bulgy, my throat began to shut down to some extent, and also the nasal passage began to be infected.
Mr. Ferguson said that he is concerned that the environment is not safe or healthy. He is also hoping that some alternative arrangements can be made to accommodate the staff at the office.
I'm very, very concerned that there are some persons who are temporary staff that work in this building who were made to remain on the inside. You can see there are persons behind us that are wearing masks. And we are aware that the building and the roof was compromised during the last storm. And so the ductwork in the ceiling has been compromised, and now not only is there mold, but the fiberglass from the ductwork is now being disseminated through the building whenever the air conditioning unit is on, and so people are scratching, and it's causing persons to have respiratory challenges.
The union has advised their employees to report to work but refrain from entering the building because of prior medical reports of current employees from various doctors as it relates to the workers.
Arrangements were made by the Attorney General's office for persons to go over to Durand Memorial Hospital and see doctor there. We do have some reports in our hands indicating that there is mold on the lungs of some persons and also some other foreign bacteria that's having an effect on the persons here. We have a gentleman here that if he goes in the building without the mask, his voice actually shuts down.
Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Jay Philippe.
In news from the crime beat, law enforcement officers on Grand Bahama discovering a large quantity of dangerous drugs in the Freeport area. Reports are that on Tuesday, shortly before 4 p.m., officers of the Central Detective Unit, along with customs officers and the K-9 unit, acting on information, went to Florin Drive, South Bahama, and discovered in bushes 9 crocus bags, all containing packages of suspected marijuana. The suspected marijuana weighs 226 pounds with a street value of $226,000. No arrest was made in this matter and investigations are continuing. 18-year-old Toronto Kimo Roll Jr. of Frobisher Circle arraigned before the court on the charge of attempted robbery. Roll is accused of the attempted robbery of Chance's Games in Hunters on the night of September 30th. He also faced the charge of being concerned with others and causing grievous harm. During that attempted robbery, a female employee was shot in the leg. He was not required to enter a plea and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until February 4th. He was also charged with accessory after the fact. To that, he pled not guilty and bail was denied on that charge as well. Meanwhile, 33-year-old Cody Ramming of Hepburn Town, 8 Mile Rock, was arraigned before Magistrate Rankin Johnson on the charges of attempted armed robbery and causing harm. He was not required to enter a plea and was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until February 5th of next year for trial. This matter is in connection with the attempted armed robbery that occurred on Tuesday, October 2nd on Waterfall Drive. Haitian national 52-year-old Felicos Joseph arraigned before the court yesterday on the charge of unlawful sexual intercourse with a 13-year-old girl. The offense is alleged to have taken place between November 2016 and March 2018. Joseph was not required to enter a plea, and the matter is expected to proceed by way of a voluntary bill of indictment. Joseph was also charged for overstaying by a period of 4 years. He was given a fine of $3,000 and will serve 1 year behind bars. If the fine is not paid, he will spend an additional year in prison. 3 Grand Bahama residents facing possession of ammunition charges. 60-year-old Sandra Lurie Doreen Burkhart of Erickson Drive, 29-year-old Jessica Wallace Whitfield of Cadney Avenue, and Joseph Wallace Whitfield, age 26, of Erickson Drive, were all arraigned before Magistrate Debbie Ferguson yesterday. They were not required to enter a plea, and the matter was adjourned to the 27th of February of next year for trial. Bail was denied. Joseph Wallace Whitfield and Sandra Burkhart were also arraigned on possession of dangerous drugs. They both pled not guilty, and the matter was adjourned to the 27th of February for trial. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.